Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Blitzball Champ Gaming podcast for Carolina Panthers Talk. We are in week 15 of the NFL 2021-2022 season. Joining me for tonight's preview of the Carolina Panthers on the road taking on the Buffalo Bills, representing the Bleeding Carolina Blue podcast, DJ, aka MrCarolina. What is up?
Jay, what's going on, my brother? Another blessed day, and you keep pounding country, man. I appreciate you allowing me to come on to the stream with you today.
It's a pleasure having you. Had a blast in our last video together as we went through the unfortunate loss against the visiting Atlanta Falcons, so we're 1-1 with them. Well, going to face a much tougher team this Sunday in the Buffalo Bills. Let's see. We got quite a bit to talk about tonight with this matchup. So, the ESPN matchup predictor gives Buffalo a 78.4% chance of winning and us only a 21.4% chance of winning with a 0.2% chance of a tie. Now, I want to start off with the injury report because it's looking a little rocky. So, once again, AJ Bouye missed practice for a second straight day. And, with no Dante Jackson, no JC Horn, it's looking like AJ Bouye may miss this game or is at least questionable. So that's really going to thin out our secondary to Stephon Gilmore, who did play 100% of the snaps in the Atlanta game
And look good.
and looked good. CJ Henderson, he's going to have to step up. Rashawn Melvin is back in the mix. And, of course, Keith Taylor Jr., who's been a bright spot in the secondary as well.
Absolutely.
But in your honest opinion, how much do you feel the possibility of AJ Bouye not playing in this game, how much do you really feel will impact the defense?
I like AJ Bouye because he brings he brings that veteran leadership to the secondary. He's not going to make a bunch of splash plays, but he's consistent in what he does. I give AJ Bouye that. He came on slow when we first got here. He was a little slow, but you'll see him with a nice pass breakup. He'll be locked into his man. He'll make his tackles. You don't see AJ Bouye really missing many tackles. So if he can't be there, then I see us sliding CJ Henderson into that slot, to that nickelback spot. Let Keith Taylor, because Keith Taylor, with his length and his speed, can play the outside and is better at, he can play press, he can play off. He has shown great technique out there. So I have faith in Keith Taylor more on the outside than I do right now with CJ Henderson, who, again, we talked about the other day, he's going through his off the field issues and he's still trying to get adjusted to our system. So I would rather him be in the nickel spot than on the outside covering a number one or number two.
Understandable. Definitely understandable. I know that he's definitely helped out the secondary for sure. And, when you look at the pass, compared to the run, we've done pretty well overall at defending the pass as compared to the run. So, which I feel like a big part of it is due to lack of pressure up front. Now, another notable, DJ Moore has been limited lately in practice. And he's our best receiver and the one that's really stood out the most this year. I'm not saying that Robbie Anderson can't pick up the slack, but it's a noticeably big hole in our wide receiving game, being that we haven't really seen a lot from Terrace Marshall Jr., we're starting to see a little bit more Brandon Zylstra, just a little bit more. I don't know what the heck is up with Shy Smith. I feel like I don't know if he's just not in the lineup or what, but maybe we'll see if DJ Moore can't go. Maybe we can see some Shy Smith in the mix.
I'm
But
thinking so.
but
I'm
yeah.
thinking so. I'm thinking if DJ can't go, what I'm thinking Borrego's. I mean, I said Borrego. I'm thinking about the Hornets. Matt Rule is going to take a page out of Jane Borrego's book. What he's going to do is he's leaning on the veterans. So if DJ Moore can't go, Robbie Anderson comes our de facto number one.
Hmm.
So Robbie, you have to slide to the one. Terrace Marshall, we drafted you this high for a reason.
Yes.
Valid, validate why we drafted you this high. You have to slide to the number two. I, like a lot of fans, I don't know, like you, Jay, I would love to see more of Shy Smith.
Yes.
Shy Smith, to me, and I know, and I'm not comparing him to him, and please, y'all don't get me wrong, he has the swag of a Steve Smith.
Hmm.
He has I may be short, but I'm going to Debo you in a way because I'm going to play above my size. I'm going to play above my height. I'm going to play above my weight. He showed great flashes at South Carolina.
Hmm.
I was watching his highlights when we drafted, and I'm like, we have a legit slot receiver here.
Hmm.
If and again, this was before we re-signed Robbie. Okay, because when we did that, I was like, well, okay, we still got to resign DJ,
Hmm.
resigning Robbie. We got Terrace Marshall.
Hmm.
Now we got Shy. I know we're not going to go four wide receivers all the time.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm thinking resign DJ, move Terrace Marshall to the two, put Shy at the three
Hmm.
because he is quick enough and strong enough that he can outquick the linebackers and he's shifty enough to get away from like the nickelback. So I would love to see more Shy Smith if DJ can't go against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. That's just
I honestly felt like he was the Curtis Samuel replacement. And
that too.
he even showed flashes, because I know he didn't play a lot in the preseason and such, but he did show flashes of his
Mm-hmm.
speed and his ability. And I remember, I think the first play he caught a 20-yard pass, or he either caught it or ran for 20 yards and got the first down. It was
You talking about the
excellent.
Colts game? You
Yes,
talking about that Colts game? I
yes.
know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
And I knew right then and there, I'm like, I really hope to see more of this guy. And I know one of my subscribers, Nathan John, shout out to you, um, vouched for Shy Smith like quite a bit throughout the off season, and sure enough, we ended up getting him. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, Okay, we got some chats rolling in. Shout
All
outs
right.
to R. Priester and Mamba. R. Priester says, "Hey guys, I seen Cam with Pats fumble away from beating the Bills, and where is tight end Trumbull, as in Tommy Trumbull?" Um, and Mamba also made a good point. Maybe we see a little bit of Willie Snead. We do have Willie Snead.
Yeah, I forgot all about him.
Yeah.
Great point. I forgot we even had Willie Snead.
So.
But that's a good point. I would love to see Willie's again. That veteran presence I was telling you about.
Mhm.
Maybe Matt Rule leans a little bit more on that veteran presence in a games like this because again, we still, as crazy as it said, like I said, are not mathematically eliminated from playoff contention.
Right.
So Matt Rule, if you're listening, I know you probably are not. If you ever watch this, look what happened to the guy down in Jacksonville. Don't do nothing crazy. Lean on your vets and let them lead. Stop rotating the quarterbacks. Let Cam play. Again,
Mhm.
DJ can't go. Tommy Tremble, like to his point, Tommy Tremble, I would love to see more of Tommy Tremble. Because like you said the other day, on that high ball that came through, he showed excellent hands. Excellent hands.
Yes, he
And then
did.
coming out of school at Notre Dame, he was not considered as a pass catching tight end. He was known as a blocking tight end. So he's
Yep.
opening my eyes to having great hands.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said last time, Cam Newton, his success came when he had a reliable tight end.
Indeed.
Greg Olson, even though we had Smitty and Funches, and I don't even consider oh, what is his name? We used to make, he said he's a honey bun away from being a left tackle. Benjamin, even though he
Oh
had
yeah.
Benjamin. Yeah, he's a honey bun away from being a left tackle. Greg Olson, if we want to be realistic about it, was always Cam Newton's number one.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want Cam to be successful, either Tommy Tremble or Ian Thomas have to step up on Sunday. They have to step up.
Mm-hmm.
We have to establish the run. Chuba Hubbard, and I know to get off topic, Chuba Hubbard
Mm-hmm.
and Amir Abdullah, in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
needs to see at least 15 touches apiece on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
At least 15 touches apiece if we're going to win this game. Win the game in the trenches, then we can get into our play action and try to shoot the ball down the field. But Tommy Tremble, yes, needs to be more involved in this offense. Absolutely.
And he showed that he can be an impact, especially in the red zone. And
Mm-hmm.
even, like I said, he has the blocking ability and he's got the hands. I mean, he's, that fingertip grab he got, and,
Beautiful catch.
he scored a few times in the red zone
Mm-hmm.
as well. I just, like you said, we really need to see more of that because he is capable of really evolving into that. Give it, 2, 3 years of consistency. He can
Mm-hmm.
be, our George Kittle. He could be our Greg Olson. You know what I mean? I just
He
think,
can be our Logan Thomas.
yeah, indeed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Tito Z chimes in, says, "What's up, gentlemen? I like Shy Smith too, but he is being treated like a Bigfoot. Is he really here or not? Put the man on the field." Agreed.
Yes,
Highly, highly agree. Mamba says
absolutely.
Shy Smith is like Torrey Holt, just a walking first down. I mean,
And he's not lying. He's not lying. He when you need, like I said, if you look at him, and I said I didn't really watch much of South Carolina games,
mhm,
but if you look at some of his tapes, I don't mean just his highlight tapes.
mhm,
When South Carolina needed a third down,
mhm,
they went to Shy Smith, Mr. Reliable, like Mr. First Down,
mhm,
because he has great hands. He can get separation, and if he's short of the yardage, Shy Smith is going to fight for the yard. He's going to high point the ball.
mhm.
I love that about Shy Smith. He will high point the ball and make sure he's going to grab it and he's going to get that first down. So yeah, Shy Smith does need to be more involved in this offense on Sunday as well.
Indeed, I really hope he gets in there consistently, gets in that rotation. Um, we got Danielle Sarton in the stream. Welcome. Uh, she says we had major issues before Cam. Cam isn't the problem, but is being used better as a scapegoat than a quarterback. I mean, that is pretty true.
Fact. That's facts.
If we were good, Cam is still sitting on the couch right now. That's a good point too, because
That's a great point.
we wouldn't have
That's a
had to
great,
bring him in.
at
Um,
all.
she continues saying our issues come from when we made a $65 million running back the focus and went all defense in the drafts. You're paying dollar store contracts for O line and wondering why we have no pass attack. Cam has more rushing yards than our running back room. That's not winning football. Yeah, I
Ooh.
mean,
Straight facts. Then I said the other day, Jay, I said your quarterback should not have the same amount of rushes as your running back. That
sure
should
did.
not happen. That shouldn't happen.
Yep,
And look what we're doing.
and that's facts. Facts indeed. Um, and then to continue on with the injury reports, I know DJ Moore and Michael Jordan were limited in practice. Jermaine Carter and John Miller were full participants. All 10 offensive linemen are healthy on the active roster and present for
Free, Deont-
practice.
free Deontay Brown. Free Deontay Brown. That's all I'm gonna say. Free
He
Deontay
really
Brown.
needs a shot.
Free him.
Even with these final 4 games, he really needs a shot.
free him. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do. Michael Jordan's out. Dennis Daly is not the answer at left tackle. Excuse me, left guard. He's not the answer at left tackle either.
Right.
Um, put Deontay Brown at left guard. That's what
Mm-hmm.
he was at. That's what he was in college. Let him play left guard. Let's let Brady Christensen play left tackle. Matt Rule. Let Brady Christensen play left tackle to see if we can cut that need down in free agency or the draft.
Right.
The man was one of the greatest rated left tackles coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
Let him prove it. Short arms or not, let him prove it. Let's see what he's got. Put
Yeah.
somebody else at right guard. Anybody, just put somebody else there.
Because we need to see if we can build consistency with him, but he's got to have the opportunity. It can't be he's at left tackle one game and then not at left tackle until 6, 7 games later. You know what I mean? It
You
don't
don't
work
get a
like that.
rhythm. Yeah, you don't get a rhythm. You don't get a flow. That's like a basketball player. If you put me in for a couple games, coach, and then I don't play for the next 6 or 7, I'm not getting a rhythm.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
can't do that. You keep snap. You give me my minutes. You snatch my minutes. Which one am I going to play? Am I not going to play? I know as a professional, you should always stay ready. But the more reps I get at that position, the better I can be.
Indeed. Indeed. Um, Now let's kind of look at what's going on injury wise on the Buffalo side. So they have listed, let's see, Josh Allen is still questionable.
He's
So
going to play. He's going to play.
yeah, I think he's going to play. Which I mean, even if he doesn't, they have Mitchell Trubisky. So I mean, somebody who has started before. But I think he's still going to play. Like you said, I think he's going to play.
He's going to play.
Um, Taywon Jones is questionable. Emmanuel Sanders is doubtful. Um,
That can help us, but they still got Diggs. We still got a. But you know what, Gilly? If I would say if I'm Phil Snow,
mhm.
Stephon Gilmore should follow Stephon Diggs the entire game. Let him
Yes,
follow.
yes, like that has to be the key matchup. But who do we put on Cole Beasley?
You know what? Call me crazy. Call me crazy. I would put mm, I would put CJ Henderson on him. I would see it. I would see it. For me, I would have said Keith Taylor,
Hmm.
but Cole Beasley is a more of a shifty. You need somebody around. CJ Henderson is fast, so
True, true.
he should be able to keep up with Beasley in the slot. You should be able to do that.
Hmm.
Now, if you can't, then we can slide Rashad Melvin over there, or you can slide Keith Taylor over there. But I want to,
Hmm.
and I know I said the other day, I was just joking. I want to see what CJ Henderson can do. So CJ Henderson, I want to see you succeed.
Hmm.
Put him in the slot, put him on Cole Beasley. Let's get your confidence up, and let's get you playing back to the way because you was a top 10 pick for a reason.
Right.
Show us why you were a top 10 pick. Put CJ Henderson on.
Hmm. And I'm confident that Diggs can be kept in check from Stephon Gilmore.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
you throw in some occasional over the top help from maybe a Jeremy Chin.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but our secondary is definitely going to be tested because you got a dual threat in the wide receiver position in
Mm-hmm.
Beasley and Diggs. And let's not sleep on Dawson Knox as well. He has been chipping in as well. So I wouldn't sleep on him.
Shaq got to step up then. Shaq Thompson got to step up in that coverage.
Yes.
Because
So
I don't trust your man Carter. I don't trust your man Carter.
right.
I'm sorry. I don't trust him.
But as far as the run game, I mean, we have to keep in mind. I mean, Devin Singletary and Josh Allen are kind of similar in the run game. I mean, they both have over 500 yards rushing. So I mean, if anything, we're gonna have to account for Josh Allen as a runner, and also keep a spy on him in the passing game because he can get loose. So
I'll say a little bit more cover two, not a lot of cover one, because again, in cover one, you're as a corner, as a linebacker, your back is turned to the quarterback.
Right.
And Josh Allen is smart enough to say, if you got your back to me, and I see a seam, I'm going to take off.
Hmm.
That's just a given.
Indeed. But overall, I mean, aside from Emmanuel Sanders being doubtful, like I said, we're both in agreement that, Josh Allen will most likely play, despite
Mhm.
being listed as questionable.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I mean, we know Christian Wade is out. Uh, Tyrell Dodson is out at linebacker. I mean, Starla Tuile is questionable, but still somebody to keep note
Star.
of.
Miss that
And
guy. Miss that guy.
yeah, same. Oh, same. And if
Yeah.
I remember correctly, don't they also have Super Mario?
They do. They do have Mario. That's what I said.
Oh
That's
Lord.
the Panthers of the Panthers of the North. He gonna have a field day. Whoever our left tackle is.
Oh man. And
But
they have
please.
Effie Obata. I forgot about that. Oh Jesus.
Oh wow, you just reminded me too.
Oh, and Vernon Butler. I forgot about that.
That's what I just
Wow.
said. I was like, yo, the Panthers of the North. That's what Buffalo is. They're the Panthers of the North.
Oh my
That's what it
goodness.
is. Buffalo is what we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Buffalo is
Realistically,
supposed to be.
I mean, they're pretty loaded. I mean, AJ
But on
Klein,
paper,
Tremaine Edwards or
former
Edmonds.
Panthers,
So
former Panther. AJ Klein, former Panther.
yeah. Oh, I forgot. They also drafted that one edge rusher, Greg Rousseau from Miami, Florida. I forgot about
Mhm.
that. Oh, jeez.
But
So
that's it. On paper, their team looks stacked, but they play it. They play good. Our team, again, we've been saying it for a while now. Our team looks hella good
mhm,
on paper.
right.
We look real good. But who said it the best? That's why the game's not played on paper.
Exactly.
If that's the case, Washington would have like 20 Super Bowls.
I know, right?
The game was played on paper. No,
um
you got to play the game.
I mean, we might be able to expose a little bit in the passing game with no Tre'Davious White since he's on injured reserve, but we need the time, and the O line's going to be tested.
Our O line, and that's the thing that kills me also, Jay. That's another thing that kills me. Like we'll have games, and our offensive line will have games like the Atlanta game, not this previous one, but the one before that,
Hmm.
or the Arizona game where they block awesomely.
Yeah.
Quarterback's only sacked one time, or he's not sacked at all. We're seeing running holes.
Hmm.
Running backs getting at least 4 or 5 yards before he's touched. So they have games like that. But then we'll have a game, we're doing this losing streak where we're like, why can't you guys block the edge? Why is everybody getting through the A and B gap?
Hmm.
Why is the quarterback getting pressured every time he goes back? So it's like, which offensive line? I'm using Eminem reference, but real offensive line, please stand up. Please just somebody stand up and put your hand up and say, hey, I want to block somebody. Anybody, just block, please, because what it is you're making our quarterback look bad.
Yeah. It's definitely the evidence is showing that the evidence has shown. Um, let's see. Catching back up in the chat. Let's see. You can't. Danielle Sarton says you can't pay a running back more than your quarterback and O line and expect to compete. I love McCaffrey, but if you need an elite quarterback, you don't pay that running back Aaron Rodgers money. Um, let's
In fact,
see. Brian Burns needs more moves than a speed rush. He overshoots the quarterback every play. He has been subject to do that. He has been
on plenty of
subject to do
occasions, They was talking about it during the game. They was like, Brian Burns cannot shoot his way up the field all the time because what you're doing is you're exposing that C and D gap. And
Mm-hmm.
because when he can, like I said, when he keeps shooting up that field, that edge is wide open because you blown past the play,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, "Oh well, look, there's somebody else we don't have to account for."
Mm-hmm.
And so now we can seal that edge, we can block out that corner, we can seal that outside linebacker, and there goes a gap right there. And to her other point, absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
your running back. And I said we love Christian McCaffrey too, love Christian.
Mm-hmm.
We should not have paid Christian that money. That money should have went to the line. And I hate to be that guy,
Mm-hmm.
but running backs are expendable in this league. You just are. It's a passing league now. Now, can you get a good one and he still he can still run behind a great offensive line?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We see it day in and day out in the NFL. You
Mm-hmm.
have these no-name running backs. Shoot, it happens against us. You
Mm-hmm.
have a no-name running back behind a nice offensive line, and he's getting almost 100 yards a game, and they're not paying him all that money we're paying Christian.
Right.
That money should have went to the line. And I saw something, not to get off topic, I was reading something where it says the Panthers are interested in Gardner Minshew. Stop it. Stop
Ew.
it. Why? Why? Gardner Minshew is not going to fix his offensive line struggles.
Oh.
Gardner Minshew had like a good season or so in Jacksonville, but he was playing in Jacksonville. He had a
Yeah.
good game in Philadelphia. They were playing the Jets. Who's not having a good game against the Jets? So all y'all like petition for Gardner Minshew, stop it.
Yeah.
No,
Agreed.
stop it. Jesus
I,
Christ.
I, w- I was not high on him at all, and then when I heard about that, I was like, "Oh God, please no."
I wanted to call you and be like, yo, we need to do a show on that. Tell people to stop it. Like, stop it. Don't.
The Gardner Minshew hype train.
Yeah, like yeah, the mustache and the mullet. Like, stop it. Jesus. Right. Get
Yeah.
him out of here.
Um. Let's see. Mambo was saying Chuba is growing in front of our eyes and makes CMC more expendable, but the dead cap that we're going to have to pick up is just not it. David Tepper tried to win while rebuilding, and that has never worked.
Nope.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to go, and he's not gonna do it. That's the thing as professional. You
Mm-hmm.
would literally have to go to Christian McCaffrey and say, "Would you take a pay cut
Mm-hmm.
so we can get you a better offensive line? Would you do that?"
You think he'd be
Now,
willing
Chris,
to?
heck no.
Oh,
All
okay.
that money, all that money. No, let me not do that. Let me not do it depends how much of a pay cut that they're talking about. If I'm a running back and if I'm in my prime,
Mm-hmm.
Chris McCaffrey is still in his prime years.
True.
If I'm in my prime, and I say, okay, in order for me to stop getting banged up, dinged up, getting swallowed up in the backfield,
Mm-hmm.
you need to allocate some money towards a better guard, a better tackle, a better center. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Take some of this money that you take some of my sign or backload my contract so you can spend the money now. Go ahead and backload it. You don't give me my money,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll give you some money back. I'll give you some money now. You get back to me later. So if they can allocate some of that money till later, I feel like Christian McCaffrey for the betterment of the team will say, go get me a better lineman so we can create better holes. And so our quarterback is not getting killed. Because again, no quarterback coming into the situation is going to succeed until we fix the O line.
Exactly.
Nobody succeed.
Exactly. Not only that, throw in an incentive to get him more in the slot.
We talked about that. Chris McCaffrey in the slot would be awesome.
Yeah.
Chris McCaffrey in the slot would be awesome. That way you can. Oh Lord, if we put Christian in the slot, that would create havoc and mismatches all over the field. Because if we go four wide, you could potentially go DJ, Robbie, Christian, and Terrace or Shy in the slot. And could you imagine Christian McCaffrey and Shy Smith in the two slots
Ooh.
and a
Now,
nickel?
Not only that, think about this. Maybe considering, like, if you still want to have somebody in the backfield and have McCaffrey in the slot, maybe considering, all right, you have Ian Thomas as one of the tight ends. Maybe consider throwing either a Giovanni Ricci or, better yet, perhaps a Tommy Tremble as that extra blocker in the backfield to give extra time, knowing that he is a blocking tight end as well.
He is. He is. He is. That look, I like where you're going with that, and that would not be a bad idea. Because you remember not that long ago when Cam was having the success, we had the two running backs in the backfield. Sometimes we would have the tight end, the fullback, and the running back all in the backfield with him to provide him with extra time to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
So not a bad idea at all. And we were very successful. You remember we would have Mike Tolbert to his right, and we would have Chris Manhurst to his left, or we
Mm-hmm.
would have a Stewie, or we would have Chris McCaffrey behind him. So you gave him that diamond effect of, okay, I have protection here, I have protection here,
Yep.
and I have my running back that can even flare out, or he can do a choice route. That's not a bad idea at all. I like where you're going with that.
Yeah. Um. Danielle says CMC is not a power back. Facts. Keep
He's not.
Davis. Keep Davis for that and run screens and sweeps with McCaffrey. That would have been a that idea would have worked. I mean, when you think about it,
It
because
would have. It should have.
I really strongly feel like CMC does not need to really be an every down back.
No, it's not needed. And I said it's not a knock against him, but his body is not built to do that day in and day. And I said what we're doing is we're treating Christian like we did Cam.
Yeah.
You're going to run him into the ground, which is going to shorten his career. Again, if you see what's happening to these running backs, that teams are running into the ground. Alva
Mm-hmm.
Kamara, the New Orleans Saints are running and passing him to the ground. Tennessee, they're running Derrick Henry to the ground. Dallas is running Ezekiel Elliott into the ground. When you take these high profile running backs, they have success early, but then
Mm-hmm.
you say, I'm going to keep doing it year after year after year. Anybody that's played the game of football knows a running back's body is only meant to take but so many hits before it starts to shut down.
Right.
Now, a lot of these guys, like myself, have been playing football since she was about 5 or 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
As you get older, your body just says, you know what, I'm not going to heal like I used to when I was 7, 8, 9, 13, 14 years old. I'm getting in my 20s. I'm getting in my 30s. That hit that I just took from that 250-pound linebacker hurts a lot more at this age than it would have back then. So make Christian I wouldn't necessarily, we can make him a two-down back. Make him a two-down back. And to your point, for that third down, put him in the slot. Or for
Mm-hmm.
second down, put him in the slot. Don't hand him the ball. Throw him the ball on the outside. That way he can get out of bounds and not take as many shots as he would if he was a running back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I mean, you gotta be smart about it. You definitely gotta be smart about it. On the wear and tear of the body, as you said. So, highly agree. Um, Danielle posed two things as well. She says Shaq Thompson is great in coverage because he was a safety into the Panthers. We need a middle
Boom.
linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, facts.
Mm-hmm.
She also says, I'm worried we won't be able to re-sign Reddick next season, and he's our best. Honestly, I think there'll be a
He's
sense of
coming back.
urgency to bring him back. He wants to come back. I think he'll be a priority. I
If,
really highly doubt Scott Fitterer won't make him a priority. I,
if not, we're going to franchise tag him.
yeah. Because honestly, I feel like four by default that really should be considered, with some others that can be thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
Hassan Reddick,
Coming back.
Stephon Gilmore,
Definitely he's coming back.
um, which Brian Burns, I think he still has,
Rookie deal. He's still
yeah,
on his rookie deal.
and while he
Mm-hmm.
could potentially be cheap and seal the deal, special teams, we need to keep Zane
Absolutely.
Gonzalez.
Absolutely. But he's been consistent. When he's gotten
Yes.
his shot, he had his few misses early, but he's become more reliable, more consistent. Now, I wish in the kickoff game his leg was a little bit stronger to keep getting those touchbacks,
True.
but that's not here nor there. But when he hit that 57-yarder, I said, okay,
Yeah.
you can stay. And if you looked at it, when he hit it, he still had yard, he still had room to go.
Oh yeah.
So he may been able to hit from 60. So keep him as well. Absolutely.
Because we have to remember, we haven't seen anything like that since Joey Sly 2 seasons ago, his rookie season. Because we really didn't see that last year. He bombed last year
Jesus.
from 50 and out. I think he may have made one kick last season of 50 yards or more.
I'm
So,
I think with him, it's like it was just mental. He couldn't get out of his own way. He was like you said, his rookie. He was a great kicker his rookie year. Then it's just like, what happened to you in the offseason, guy? You missed one, and it's like anything like you said beyond 50, we're holding our breath.
I I give him this. I loved his story and rooted like crazy when he made the team. I give him that.
Mm-hmm.
But once you make the team, now you got to keep your job.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that's really what it ended up turning into. You got to keep your job. He didn't do enough to keep his job. It sucks,
yeah.
but that's the business. That's the business.
You got one job. It's a kick. Do your job.
Right. Our priester says, "How do we get Rule out of the way? Seems to me this is coaching. You put the tight end on DBs like a Gronk. How do you feel
Mm-hmm.
about Jeff Nixon? I like him once plays start and going, but then he got predictable.
He did.
I thought we saw a spark in that first drive, but then it
We did.
just went
It went vanilla.
away.
I told you we went vanilla. We went real vanilla. Like he just, but to to that point though, to that point, we we are setting our expectations all the way up here,
Mhm.
and it really should be like down here.
Mhm.
Nothing against him,
Mhm.
but we have to still remember this is a college offensive coordinator trying to now call plays in the NFL.
Right.
So again, the plays that worked at Baylor are not going to work in the NFL because those plays were going against 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. These are seasoned vets that you're trying to call these plays against
Mhm.
that have seen your plays more times than you probably have. And so they know how to adjust to it. And their coaches have seen those plays. So they say, you know what? Again, it goes to that point earlier. We have college coaches that don't know how to adjust to an NFL game.
And I'm going to throw this in here. This is sort of minor, but this has bothered me so long, especially
Mm-hmm.
since Cam came back from the offense. I have not seen a single play action bootleg called for Cam, which is one of his plays that he will do that play action bootleg and will give you a touchdown or more.
That's a great point. That is a great
Why
point.
has that play not been called a single time since he came back to this team?
You know who? You know what, Jay? That's a great point. Because I remember so many times where he used to hold that ball out there, and everybody would fade to the right. You see Cam just roll back around, and Greg Olson would flare out, and he would either dump it to him or nobody would be over there. You just see Cam gliding into for a first down for a touchdown,
Yeah.
and getting up doing this famous thing, or he's doing a Superman. So that's a great point. Why have we not seen that play?
And 9 times out of 10, he's untouched.
Seen it on too many highlights. Seen it on too many highlights where nobody's over there because they're committed to the run. But again, that's the film study of a coaching staff that has never had a player of Cam Newton's caliber. They've never seen anything like Cam Newton. So they don't know how to coach a Cam Newton. You're not gonna see a player like Cam Newton at Temple. You're not gonna see like a player like Cam Newton at Baylor. You're not gonna see that. They don't know how to coach him.
I guess it just surprises me because you would have thought in the beginning where Matt Rule was like, oh yeah, I'd love to coach Cam. Oh yeah, definitely love to coach. You would think with that type of like spunk, that type of like attitude, you would think, okay, knowing I'm gonna have the chance to work with you. Okay, we're gonna go over all the P's and Q's and really capitalize on, hey, we got a former MVP, you know, under the helm. Let's capitalize on what made him shine so well, and it's just
You knew that was smoke, right? You knew that was smoke. That was
that
smoke.
was that was a couple of clowns.
They had no intention of coaching Cam. They was doing that to appease the fans.
Yeah.
That's why they were saying that. We want to appease. They had every intention of letting Cam Newton go. I mean, look at the circus that followed that. Oh, Cam's actually for a trade. Cam wants out here. I don't believe for 1 second Cam Newton wanted to leave Carolina. Not for 1 second.
Agreed.
But they were trying to save themselves. Oh, he wants out. Oh, welcome back. Nah.
Yeah.
But to your point, he did. If that was the case, Matt Rule, even if you didn't keep Cam, you had time to put something in place.
Right.
Just in case. My daddy always taught me, he said, son, make sure you have just in case money or just in case plan. That should have been his just in case Cam Newton comes back. I got something in place to make him successful, because before taking a job, you had to see the film on Cam Newton, who you said was going to be a quarterback. So let me look at the film at what you do well. That's what great coaches do. Hey, what do you do well? Let's implement that in our game plan so you can be successful, so I can be successful, so I can look good, so you can look good. They didn't do that.
Totally failed at that. And let's see. Oh, this is interesting. From Danielle. We haven't thrown but one play for more than 20 yards. Check downs in 3rd and 30 because the O line get so many false starts are better than sacks. Then say it's not their job. And how many laughing faces you guys think Brady sent Rule this week? Oh, jeez.
Jesus. Look, he probably still sending them now. He probably
Probably.
still sending them now. And I just said, we gotta. It's the check downs that are killing me. And I said, if we're so worried about our offense line getting beat, to your point that you said earlier, send an extra tight end, send a fullback into the backfield to help block. That's how you're able to get the shots down the field, by adding some extra protection so your quarterback's not getting drilled or there's not enough pressure in his face. Too many times, like we've seen with Sam, with PJ, with Cam, there's pressure in your face. Sam, I don't even know why I threw you in that conversation. You're hot garbage. With PJ and Cam, there's pressure in their face. And so if you look at some of Cam's throws, he's having to overextend his arm, and he's trying to put more oomph on it, because there's somebody in his face. Bring the tight end in, bring the fullback in, give him the protection, allow us to take a shot down the field. But you have to have the protection to do that.
Agreed. Mamba also says no big star is going to want to come here because we have a terrible history with keeping our star players healthy. I mean, facts. Greg Olson's broken foot was always a nagging injury for him. Luke has plenty of concussions, and we also made Cam play through multiple injuries, and now we're running CMC into the ground.
Didn't I say that? I said we're running him into the ground. That's what we're doing. It never failed. Like I said, we ran to the point. We ran Cam to the ground. We're running CMC into the ground. We Greg Olson should have played a few more years here, but we treated his injury wrong.
Yep.
The only injury that I say, Luke, concussions, and I can say this from personal experience, I've had a few of them. Concussions will make you reevaluate your career because you have to think long term.
Yep.
It's the brain damage, it's the thought process, it's the sometimes getting angry out of nowhere that
Mm-hmm.
comes with concussion. So all those symptoms are very real. And I speak to that from experience as somebody that's had a few concussions. So I can understand the Luke Kuechly one. The only injuries that I say we handled with proper care that I can really think of was the Thomas Davis one.
Yeah. Good point.
Thomas Davis one, because we allowed him to get a surgery. We allowed him to heal.
Yep.
He came back. He did it again. We got the surgery. We let him heal.
Mm-hmm.
We handled his injury properly.
Right.
That's the only one to mind that I can think of that we did. We didn't even handle. I don't think we handled D'Angelo's properly. We didn't handle Jonathan Stewart's properly.
Shoot, I think it goes even back as far as Dan Morgan.
We didn't handle his properly. John Beeson, we didn't handle his properly.
Because Dan Morgan, he was another one that was a beast when he was healthy.
He was an animal. I loved watching Dan Morgan play. Again, I loved watching John Beeson play. We've had some awesome linebackers come through this organization.
Yeah.
Awesome linebackers.
And I won't ever forget one of my favorite Dan Morgan plays was NFC Championship where he got the game sealing interception on McNabb that took us into the Super Bowl.
I remember that. I remember that. And I'm gonna tell you my favorite to this day was the interception that Luke had on Tony Romo when he gave him the nice mush when he got into the end
Oh
zone.
yeah.
That was my favorite one. Loved that one. But as I said, we don't to that we don't have that alpha on this team like that.
Yeah.
Luke Keegley, I was watching something on him earlier today while I was at work. Luke Keegley was a generational talent.
Yeah.
The way he studied, the way he played the game, we will never see, I won't say never, but it'll be a while before we see another player of Luke Kuechly's status. It's going to be a while.
What really sticks out to me about Luke Kuechly, he had a balance attack, whether it was in the run and the pass,
Mhm.
plus you stack his intelligence. His
Smart,
intelligence factoring
smart.
in so much to every decision he made was what made him shine.
Luke was super smart, super athletic, super fast. He wasn't missing a tackle. Only time he started missing a tackle again when those concussions start coming into play,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you start seeing Luke miss tackles. That's when you knew he was really hurt. Besides that,
Yep.
no,
And
Luke wasn't missing anything.
and you can even tell in his interviews, like what does he emphasize? Oh, I'm gonna be, in the film room. Oh, got to go back
Mhm.
to the film room. Hey, next game up. Oh, hit the film room. Every single time. Like, and then
Consistent.
and then you wonder why you see him so much. If like you watch a lot of games like where the defense is on the field and you really just zone in consistently on Luke Kuechly, like he's
Hmm.
always pointing at something. Just
Always.
whether an audible's being called or not, he's pointing at something.
Getting people lined up, moving everybody around. Hey, over here. Hey, this is coming here. Hey, they're checking their audible list. Luke Kuechly was he was an Einstein on the football field.
Yeah,
Pure genius, pure genius. And he was Clark. He was Superman and Einstein mixed into one body. That's what Luke Kuechly was.
indeed. So let's take a look at some rankings with this
Mm-hmm.
matchup.
Okay.
Whew. All right, let's start with the offense.
Ours is bad.
To- Total yards per game,
Mm-hmm.
we rank 27th with 310.6 yards. Buffalo ranked
Mm-hmm.
8th with 382.9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, clearly they have the advantage. Uh, the rushing yards per game is actually surprisingly kind of even.
What?
We're ranked 18th with 109.7 yards. They're ranked
Mm-hmm.
15th with 121.9 2.0 yards. So kind of battling there. Uh, net passing yards a game.
I know we got to be like 32nd. We are god awful.
uh,
God awful.
at 200.9 yards, we're ranked 26.
Who is
Um,
worse than us?
apparently there's a handful worse than us in that category. Surprising as that is. Um,
Jesus.
Buffalo is ranked 8th with 261.9 net passing yards a game.
I believe it.
Oh, but it gets worse. Sacks allowed, we're ranked 22nd. We've given up 32 sacks.
Sounds about right.
Buffalo is ranked 4th. They've given up 22 sacks. Um,
Hmm.
third down efficiency, oof, we're ranked 28th with
Sounds about right.
a
Sounds about right.
34.9 percent third down
Mhm.
efficiency.
Mhm.
We're in trouble on defense because Buffalo is ranked 3rd.
And we have trouble getting off the field on third down.
Ooh, yeah,
We have
40.
trouble getting off the field on fourth down.
Yeah, but they're ranked 3rd with a 45.8% third down efficiency on offense. And
You want to know
then
why? You want to know
what?
why, Jay? Not to cut you. You want to know why? Because they put themselves in third and manageable.
Yeah,
We put ourselves in like third and 8, third and 13, third and 20, third and 18. We
it's
we
just
we we get a first down and then we got a holding penalty. We got an offside. To your point, we do something stupid.
yeah. It really has been that way consistently with us. And then points per game with 19.8, we're ranked 24th. Buffalo is ranked 6th with 27.9. Ugh. Well, we
Mm.
those offensive rankings. Oh, jeez. Talk about one-sided.
I feel like I need a drink after you just read off those stats. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I need a strong adult beverage
Oh man.
because
Yeah.
that's Sunday. That means the show we gonna do Sunday. I'm gonna be sitting back with something strong in my hand. It's gonna be about this big. I'm gonna have a big mug like this, and it's gonna have a strong adult beverage in it.
Like I feel like on offense we need like a mimic performance from the Arizona game. Like it can't be anything less than that.
But you know what? It's gonna be. We're going. So we're going to Buffalo, right? We're going to Buffalo in December. We need. It's gonna be cold.
Right?
Run the ball 30 times.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't know the game. I don't know who New England was playing. Was it Buffalo? It was somebody. No, I don't think it was Buffalo. Well, they ran the ball 40 plus times.
Mm.
They ran the ball 40 times and said, stop it. It was Arizona. I think they played Arizona.
It might have been Arizona actually.
They said, we're going to run the ball. Stop it. Arizona couldn't stop it. 40 times. Name me a game where we ran the ball 40 times. What's my thing? Don't worry, I'll wait.
I'm stumped.
We haven't. If somebody in the chat, put it up there. Name a game we ran the ball 40 times. We don't. We don't. Like I said, in our heyday, when Carolina was dragging people, when we was winning the time of possession, because we ran the ball consistently. Yes, it was boring,
Yeah.
but we kept that time of possession in our favor.
Yep.
And it comes to the third and fourth quarter. Guess what happens to the defensive line? Guess what happens to those linebackers? That body starts to wear down. They said, well, like my coach said, when you see them hands on them hips like this, you start, that means I'm getting tired.
Yep.
So as an offensive lineman, all I gotta do is push you. I just gotta push because you're already tired. Your legs are ready to give out.
Yep.
Run the ball.
Um Mamba said it actually was Buffalo, so it was Buffalo, not Arizona. It
It was
was
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Okay.
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 Um,
40 times. Ran the ball 40 times. Run the ball.
we could definitely use it. We could definitely use it. And then defense. Okay.
Oh, but we have the second ranked pass defense, though. Let anybody tell you we have the second ranked pass defense.
So according to the rankings here, total yards per game, defense.
Mm-hmm.
We're ranked second. Buffalo's ranked first.
Okay.
So we're ranked second with 293.0 yards.
Okay.
But Buffalo is ranked first with 288.9 yards. So
Pretty even. No, not bad. 1-2 matchup.
battle of dueling defenses. But here is one of the areas where we fall and they succeed in.
Run
Rushing
defense.
yards per game. We're ranked 20th with 115.3 yards a game. Still a big weakness for us on
Mm-hmm.
defense. They're ranked 12th with 109.4 yards. So definitely night and day on the run defense. Passing defense. So passing yards per game, Buffalo is ranked second. We're ranked first. So we're ranked first with 177.7 yards. Buffalo's just a little bit behind us, 179.5 yards. So in the passing game.
Not bad.
Third down efficiency, we've taken a hit, but we're still in the top 10. We're ranked eighth.
I'll take it. I'll
Um,
take it.
Buffalo is ranked third, which is a big problem for us on offense. Because remember, we're talking about their defense ranked third on third down efficiency. Our offense is ranked 28th on third down efficiency.
This goes back to that point of their defense. Our, off- our offense shoots themselves in the foot because we're in these third and longs too many times.
Yep.
We do it to ourselves so many times. And what it says is their defense knows how to capitalize on third down. We know how to get our defense off the field to get some rest. We have not mastered that yet. We're saying we're going to fail. We're going to punt the ball. Defense, we know you guys just got a Gatorade. I need you to put your helmet back on to get back on the field.
Yeah, indeed. And then we have so takeaways. Now, something that we got to work on because we're tied for 21st in takeaways. We only have 15. Uh, Buffalo's tied for third with 26. So
That's a
they,
swarm of defense.
and then,
Again, that's what I said. Buffalo is who we're supposed to be.
yeah. And the rough part about it is, because they're so high up on takeaways, that's a big deal for our offense.
And what did we talk about earlier, though, Jay? How many former Panthers are on Buffalo's roster?
Oh man, there's a ton of them. If I can count, let's see, because there's a bunch. So I don't think there's oh, there is one on offense. Daryl Williams, that's one.
He was he was
Uh
okay. He was okay at right tackle. He was okay as a right tackle. I wouldn't give him. I wish we'd have kept him as a guard because Taylor Moden definitely was a better tackle. But we could have kept him as a guard.
Super Mario Addison. Uh
Mario,
Effie Obata,
Star,
Starla Tulele,
AJ
Star.
Klein.
AJ Klein, Vernon Butler.
Mm-hmm. Look how many
Uh,
players. Look how many players you named that are on the defensive line that we could have that could be helping us right now.
six on the D, one on offense.
You don't think we can use that star up the middle? to help with this run game. We could use Vern up the middle to help with this run game.
We should have never let go of Super Mario as well. Like, oh my God.
He's Mario. Again, there's certain players that should retire with one team. Mario Addison is one of those players that should retire with the Panthers. He should spend his whole career here. Again, Mario should have done that. Cam should have been able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Olson should have been able to do that. Thomas Davis should have been able to do that.
Yep.
And the greatest tragedy of a player that should have never left Charlotte, and you should already know who I'm going to say, Steve Smith should have never, ever been able to get out of this building and become a Raven. Never.
Facts.
Ever. Poor management. Poor management. It's certain players that you don't do that to. But this game is going to be it's kind of a get back game for those former Panther players. It's I know they've been up there for a little, but it's like a get back game.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you Mario. I can guarantee you Vern and Fa, who we just let go last year, is going to come up here with a little bit more steam.
Oh yeah.
They're going to feel a little bit more. They want to prove that, hey, you shouldn't have let me go. So this one I'm going to show you. And we have to the point we made last show, we have to get the pressure that has made us one of the most fearsome pass rushing teams in the league. We cannot have a game where we don't have not one sack.
Right.
We can't do that because that's sad. That I didn't know again who I was watching. That was sad.
Yeah, and what was ridiculous about it is like that was one of the premier things we were known for on defense. And it's like it's crazy. I mean, how the heck do we play Atlanta? Typically we're known for sacking Matt Ryan, and we didn't get a single sack.
That's why I was like, I don't know who he was watching. You know, I said that you looking real unfamiliar, Granddad. You looking real unfamiliar.
Oh man. So I mean, just Mamba says, "Do y'all think we should bring back K1 Short as a rental?"
Didn't I say that the last show?
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you that last show?
Mm-hmm.
Bring back KK.
Yeah.
See if he still got any juice left.
He might have a little bit left in the tank. If he can stay healthy, he might have a little something in the tank.
We don't need him to play 40, 45, 50, 60 snaps. Give us a little spurt here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Because Daquan Jones and Derek Brown, I don't know what y'all doing.
Yeah.
Y'all supposed to be cloggers. Y'all not clogging nothing.
Mamba also pointed out the closest game where we ran 40 times was either the Jets or the Saints game. Actually, let me take a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets game. Let's see. Okay, it was 27 attempts in the Jets game. So let me see the Saints game. Saints game. Saints game was 33. So close.
Close, see.
But yeah, that's pretty much, closest that we've got. 33.
33, and we won that game.
And we won that game. Convincingly won that game.
Run the ball. Again, it's not what this new era is used to. It's not pretty. It's not flashy. But it gives you time of possession. And more importantly, it lets your defense rest.
Right.
So they're not gassed. If you look at a lot of when we were going on our little loser streak, when Sam was throwing pick after pick, the defense got no rest. Even a little bit now, the defense is not getting the proper rest, and they're getting tired late in the game. And that's why you see these runs, because the defense is getting tired. Because again, offense is putting themselves in unreasonable third down, third and long distances.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to again throw the ball down the field with an offensive line that's not giving the quarterback time to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah. I mean, you broke it down right there. Like, definitely agree. Danielle says, OMG, our defense is paper champs. We spent 2022 on cornerbacks, and they aren't even on the field 50% of the time, and can't stop third and forever after making all these secondary moves. Trade Perriman for a cornerback and can't stop a screen for 14 yards. I'm not mad at the DB drops. If they could catch, they'd be wide receiver, not secondary. Now, for that last part, you don't have three interception opportunities and drop them, and not to mention two of them were tip drill, tip drill.
We practice that. I remember as a corner, we practiced tip drill.
Yeah,
Hey,
like,
let me bat him in the air. You go, hey, catch it, tip it, got it.
yeah, you gotta capitalize on that. Those opportunities, yeah, you gotta capitalize on those.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But But just overall, I just know a lot. We're frustrated, and just with a lot of the decision making, and just I stress this again, the lack of just urgency to really zone in on the key problems that we've had for so long. And it just made me
It, it,
put this into perspective that that's something that how long are we going to be lacking that issue before we finally nip it in the bud?
it's like we refuse to acknowledge the elephant in the room. We know he's there. He's waving at us. He's got his cocktail in his hand. He's got his hat on, his streamers. He's looking at everybody like, y'all know I'm here. One of these days. For over, like I said last time, for over 13 years, we've refused to acknowledge the elephant in the room, and that's drafting the proper offensive lineman instead of putting band-aids on the line. So now, Matt Rule, if you're still here, or whoever comes in,
Mm-hmm.
do not draft a quarterback in the first round. If you listen to me, I want to get close. Listen to me clearly.
Uh,
Do not draft a pretty boy in the first round. I'm going to sign petitions. I'm going to get everybody together. We're going to march on Mint Street. If you draft a quarterback, a wide receiver, or a corner or a safety with the first pick, do not do that.
mm-hmm.
Draft an lineman. We went on the trenches, out. You had your fun, you got your toys, it looks cool, but we need to grind teams out.
Mm-hmm.
Grind, get back to the keep pounding that we used to do when we had Stewie, when we had D. Will,
Mm-hmm.
okay, when we had Biaka Batuka,
Mm-hmm.
like when we had Deshaun Foster.
Deshaun
we
Foster. Yeah.
we ran people into the ground because that's what we did.
Yeah.
They're not pretty, but it worked for us for a long time. So we got to get back to those days.
Indeed. Indeed. Um. And also, Mamba asks, is it me or Matt Rule is clearly showing favoritism to certain players? Not only
Absolutely.
not only just certain players, but probably certain coaching staff as well. So yeah, I
You
would
got your
agree.
you got your high school buddy as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Uh, again, we did why is he doing that? Brandon Zilstra. Again, nothing against him.
Mhm.
Nothing against him. You drafted Terrace Marshall for a reason.
Mhm.
Put him in. You drafted Shot Smith for a reason. Put him in.
Put him in.
Robbie Anderson's your boy. We got it. Stop force feeding him. Because that's when the problem. We got to get Robbie the ball. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. We was winning, not force feeding Robbie Anderson. So now all of a sudden we got to force feed Robbie Anderson. Why? Because you had him at Temple. Nothing against Robbie Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
But bruh, if we was winning, if it's football is an ultimate team sport.
Right.
Ultimate team sport. If we was winning, throwing you a pass here and a pass there, why we start force feeding you, then we start losing because we're trying to force feed you because you're not in the game plan.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got to get everyone involved. I remember when we had dang on Burson out there being used. Brenton Burson. People can say what they want, but he is a receiver that had some of the best hands.
Brenton Burson had hands. He had hands. He wasn't as fast. He could catch.
Yeah, punt returner may not be where he ever shined, but you best believe
on that slot. I'm glad you said punt returner. I'm glad you said punt returner. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said that. If we don't get Erickson out of there,
oh man,
get him out of there.
Oh man,
look. I swear to God, Lord forgive me. Get him out of there. I don't know what he's doing back there, but if you put your stupid hand up one more time to call a fair catch, if you don't get more than 5 yards, bruh, when you're doing a punt return, what are you doing back there? I can do that. I can do that. Put Amir Abdullah back there. Hell, if you're not going to put Shot Smith in as a slot receiver, put Shot Smith back there.
I was thinking they would have done that in the beginning.
Why is he here? Why are you here?
Because he has the speed. Shoot.
Get him out of here.
Oh, yes, man.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, Jesus he hasn't really been doing jack. Universal Cichlids, what's up?
How you doing?
But Danielle says, "Sorry, I'm so upset. 1-15. We had hope because of the draft. They took that from us. This is domestic terrorism. Arrest these fools." Clink, clink.
Somebody called a National Guard. Please, we're being held hostage with bad coaching and bad football. They're keeping us hostage for 3 hours in front of the television watching bad football.
Seriously.
Well, 1-15. Oh my God, I remember that season. Yeah. Oh my God, Jimmy Clausen, Jesus Christ.
Because what was it? We had Matt Moore for a bit, and then
we had Matt Moore. We had then we was like, oh, we got this kid out of Notre Dame, Jimmy Clausen. Let's draft him. Jimmy Clausen is the answer because he did this. Jimmy Clausen. I wanted to gouge my eyes out every time Jimmy Clausen would throw the ball because it looked stupid. It didn't have any he had no spice on his passes.
Sure didn't.
Zero spice. It was like a softball being thrown in the air. And I was like, my God, why have thou forsaken me?
Oh, man.
What am I watching here? What are we doing? And like I said, like to your point, we had hope because we got the number 1 pick. And then a man named Superman came to the building.
This is true.
We was like, yes. And then we start winning. And like I said last time, Cam Newton made our offense must watch. For good or for bad, when Cam Newton was on the field, you wanted to sit in your seat and watch what we were going to do on offense.
Right.
You you wanted to. When Luke was here, when TD was here, when Chris Gamble was here, when Beeson was here, when Bradbury was here, when Mike After Dinner Mentor was here, you wanted to watch our team play. Now it's like,
And
I don't know what we're doing.
and you know what the sad thing is? We had Steve Smith that year, and he didn't get a single 100-yard receiving game. How does that happen?
Because we had Jimmy Clausen.
You would think you would
We had
be
Jimmy
able
Clausen.
to get the ball to him.
No. You have a limp noodle arm. He had a limp noodle arm. He was a limp noodle. Pause. No pun intended. He was a limp noodle. Get him out of here. What is Jimmy? I think Jimmy Clausen selling cars now too. Get him out of here.
I
Hot
just
garbage.
You can get David Geddes 125 yards receiving, but you can't get Steve Smith 100 yards in one game.
I forgot we had David Geddes. Jesus, when he's supposed to be? When he's supposed to? The next big thing coming out? Didn't he go to Baylor or something?
David Geddes, he sure did. Yep, he sure did. And he's from North Carolina, Cherry Point. I mean, he just couldn't stay healthy, so he didn't get a lot of opportunities. But he couldn't stay healthy.
We had some interesting receivers come through this organization, but again, the only true number one that Musin Muhammad was a solid 1A. He was a solid number. He was never one. He was solid 1A, 1B. He was a 1B. Smitty was the alpha.
Right.
But even Smitty came in as a returner at first, but Smitty turned himself into an alpha.
Yep.
But since then, we have run through receivers trying to make them something that they're not.
Right.
And we finally gotten to a point where DJ is a clear number one. Clear number one. Robbie can be a great number two when he's catching the ball, and we're putting him in great positions. But again, I really, really, really want to see what we do with Terrace Marshall. I want to see you use that 6'4", 6'5" frame in the red zone. I want to see you use that frame on third down when he can box a nickel back out and use that big wide frame, that long wingspan to catch a pass that the defensive back can't bat down.
Yeah.
See Shi Smith put a linebacker on skates or a safety on skates because he's so shifty and fast. I want to see you, Jeff Mixon. I want to see you, sir. I'm going to let you see my bald head. I want to see you, sir, put these gentlemen in a position to be successful. That's all I'm asking. Put them in position to be successful and watch this offense flourish. If we want to take a shot down the field, put extra blocking in. Take a shot down the field. Go heavy. Go 1-2 receivers. Let them run a route. Sneak the tight end out the backfield. To your point, do that heavy play action with Cam. Let them roll out.
Yeah.
And watch how many more things open up.
Yeah, especially you get them down in that red zone, or even 25, 30-yard line of the opponents. Like,
he's unstoppable.
Because, I mean, one of the things, even the reporters pointed out his vision outside of the pocket.
Phenomenal. Cam sees everything. You get him out the pocket. That's what I think. We're trying to make Cam Newton is not a pocket passer.
That's never been his thing.
But when you get him out the pocket and you let him use his God-given talent, he's good. And somebody said something smart. I was looking at Bleacher Report because I'm on there all the time. And somebody was saying, look, Cam Newton is 0-11 in his last 11 starts as a Panther. We was like, oh, that's cute. That's adorable. And then somebody was like, but he was 7-9 as a starter for the Patriots. So is it really Cam? Or are we failing Cam again by not putting him in position to be successful?
Bingo.
We're not putting him in position because Bill Belichick said, oh no, I got something here. Sean, what's not McDonough, the coordinator up there? Oh my God.
For
McDaniel, Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels.
yeah.
Josh McDaniels said, "Oh no, we're going to design something." Again, my point earlier. Hey Cam, this is what you do well.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to design my offense around what you do well.
Mm-hmm.
Cam was successful. 7-9, yes, but Cam that was a COVID season where
Right.
how many Patriots opted out? They didn't have a proper training camp. He
Right.
didn't. He didn't. Same thing now. You didn't get a chance to build that chemistry with everybody.
Exactly.
You still went 7-9. I said before we throw Cam under the bus, before somebody saying throw Cam under the bus, let's put the man in position to be successful. Let's give him a proper off season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give him time. More importantly, let's give him an offensive line that he hasn't had since about his first or second year in the league.
Indeed.
Give the man a line and watch him flourish. Say, Chris, again, to the point. Hey, Christian, we want to keep your career going. We want to keep your longevity in the NFL. Let's get some of that money back so we can spend it on the offensive line. Now, this offseason, correct me if I'm wrong, Jay,
Mm-hmm.
we have about $30 million in cap space with the new revenue that the league just got. We should have about $30 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
That should be enough to resign Hassan, resign Gilly.
Yep.
I would say give Cam a 1-2 year deal. Give
Mm-hmm.
Cam about a 1-2 year deal. That way he can get through the next season. We can draft a quarterback either in the later rounds or the year after that, so he can mentor him.
Mm-hmm.
But that to give you enough money to take care of all those problems. And again, let Deontay Brown play.
Yes. Give him a shot.
Let him play. Because if we do that, that means okay, that cuts down. Okay, we don't need a left guard.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need a right tackle. If Brady Christensen shines, we're like, I know he can.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need a left tackle.
Right.
Okay. So now we got to say again, like I said last time, Pat Elflein has showed me glimpses of great potential at the center.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need a center. So now what do you need? You would need just a right guard. Taylor Moton's not going anywhere. That's a staple.
Right.
So we can cut out right tackle.
Right.
If Brady Christensen can show that he can be consistent at left tackle, that cuts the need out for that. So boom, you've eliminated two of the most important spots on your offensive line. That way, your quarterback doesn't have to worry about, okay, I got to look left. I'm going to get hit in the back. I don't have to worry about my right hand side.
Mm-hmm.
My center, again, Pat Elflein has shown promise as a center. Again, we signed him from Minnesota, like you said the other show, as a center/guard.
Yes.
He's playing where he's supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
at the center position. If Deontay Brown shows any glimpse as a left guard, again, it cuts out the need for a left guard. So, like I said, it leaves one position,
Mm-hmm.
right guard. Draft a right guard and let them grow together. Let them have an offseason together. But let's see what Brady Christensen and Deontay Brown can do on the left hand side.
And it goes such a long way because we've done way too much shuffling of this offensive line this season. Way too much. And it's not only hurting us, but we have no built chemistry. Like
Zero.
it's just and it showed. Like I mean, you look at the years where we had like a solid O line, that was built from like having a Ryan Khalil, a Jordan Gross, Andrew Norwell,
Trey Turner.
a Trey Turner. What did we see a lot of? Chemistry. They were always
Talk.
on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Communication.
It's key. What
Yeah.
did Dennis Daly do? What did Dennis Daly do? It wasn't my job.
But when
That's
you
not what you. That's not what you should.
exactly, and that plus you getting 4 or 5 false starts, like it's just it's ugly.
Was that
It's
like? Was that not your job too, Dion? Dennis? Was that not your job too? Not false start. I guess that wasn't your job either. It, that you could just tell. You could tell what players have checked out. You can tell what players have checked out. Dennis Daly
exactly.
has checked out. He
Uh,
checked out.
Super Trebo chimed in. Welcome. Sup, y'all? How have you been? Went Christmas shopping today and was only Panthers fans walking around, Falcons fans everywhere, and it felt awful. Do y'all think it might be a close game Sunday? Uh, I'll let you go first.
You know what? I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it positive.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it positive. I'm gonna go. So you thought I was gonna go negative. I'm gonna keep it positive. We can keep it close
Mhm.
if we run the ball, if we control the clock. That is the way that I see Carolina keeping this game. If we don't make Cam throw the ball more than 25 times,
Mhm.
if Matt Rule gets out of his own way and stops shuffling quarterbacks, don't do that. This is not Baylor. This is not Temple. This is not high school.
Mhm.
We're not shuffling quarterbacks at the whim. And again, when he did it the first time, Cam wasn't even playing that bad.
Mhm.
He just did it. So once again, it took him out of his rhythm. If we stick Gilly on um, Diggs the whole game, that cuts down one of their weapons.
Mhm.
If we can, I'll let Beasley go off.
Mhm.
I'll let him get a few catches here and there, but
Mhm.
not Diggs, not Diggs. Mm-mm. If we because if we can do that, that means we can commit more bodies to the run.
Right.
We commit more bodies to the run because we know we have a shutdown corner going against their best receiver.
Exactly.
We're gonna say, "Hey, Josh Allen." You know what I would say? This is what I'm gonna say, Jay. Hey, Josh Allen, you beat me. You're not gonna be able to throw it to Diggs. I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm gonna put Gilly on him, and I'm gonna give him a little bit of safety help every now and then.
Yeah.
You do it because I'm gonna tell him. I'm saying I don't believe your running game can beat us because we're gonna stack the box against you. We're gonna put our best corner against your best receiver
Yeah.
and say, Gilly, go at it.
And
Beasley,
I
hmm,
agree.
Beasley Knox, you beat us. Singletary, you beat us because we don't think you can do it.
And if you dare to try to take a shot at Gilly,
Pick.
you know the immediate impact that he made once he got here, and you know why offenses don't throw his way.
That's what I'm saying. How many passes has been thrown his way since Gilly has got here? Like seriously, how many passes?
Very, very little. I mean,
Because you know better. You know better. It's called Gilly Lock for a reason.
yeah.
How many catches did Kyle Pitts have when Gilly was guarding him?
Shoot. As a matter of fact, quick review,
Hmm.
because he wasn't even the leading receiver. Gage was. Um. So he
Gage
had
had,
he had 5 catches, but only 61 yards total.
but again, remember that long catch, the most that 23-yard catch wasn't against Gilmore
Right. That is true.
because Gilmore was guarding Gage going across the field.
Facts. And then you look at that first matchup, which I mean, Kyle Pitts only had 2 catches, 13 yards. And see, even at that point, we didn't even have. Uh, or wait a minute. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Where's my mind at? Yeah, because we had 2 picks. Shaq Thompson, Stephon Gilmore. Duh.
Yep.
So yeah,
When Matt Ryan tried to throw it to Pitts, and Gilly had him locked down.
yeah. Um, Danielle says Falcons game should have been a blowout and came down to 3rd and 13. Please don't comment. I mean, yeah, like, and the
It
sad
really did.
the sad thing was it was a what 2nd and 20.
It was. And we
So
gave.
yeah, that was sad.
At that point, I said 3rd and 13. Now, any fan, any fan, you're watching the game. You said if my team has the opposing offense in the 3rd and 13,
Mhm.
I like our chances.
Mhm.
I like our chances of stopping them and getting the ball back for our offense. As a Panther fan, you look at that and be like, Jesus Christ, we're going to do something dumb. We're going to play a prevent defense, and that's what it looked like. There should be no way on God's green earth on a
Mhm.
3rd and 13 we give up 23 yards.
Yeah.
There's no way that should have happened. I'm sorry. It's just it shouldn't. Who do we play the week before that we did that? It was 3rd and like 20 something, 3rd and forever, and we gave up a long catch or something. And we were like, why are we in a prevent defense?
Yeah, and they were able to convert the following play.
Was Washington? Washington.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Why are we in prevent? And why, you know what I'm saying? Why is Washington saying we can disrespect y'all so much we'll go for it on 4th down?
Yeah. Which with Taylor Heineke, pretty
Taylor Heineke,
insulting.
that's disrespectful. They saying we know you can't stop it. We're going 4th down, offense, stay out there. We know we're gonna get it.
Because that game, he looked like a Pro Bowl quarterback that game.
And look what Dallas did to him. Now you gonna tell me Dallas defense is better than ours?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but
You know what I'm saying?
oh
Like,
man,
but you know what they did? You know what Dallas did? Dallas got consistent pressure in Taylor Heineke's face.
sure enough did.
Taylor Heineke had 19 passing yards at halftime. He was 2 for 12.
Yep, got sacked 4 times. Kyle Allen ate a sack as well.
I'm just saying.
So, breaking down the keys to victory plus our score predictions. All right, I guess I'll start with offense, and then you can chime in and then follow up because I know we kind of been back and forth with this. Offense, trenches, run the ball. I want to see the combo of Amir Abdullah and Chuba Hubbard get at it, get busy,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
dives, off tackles, sweeps, you name it, do it. Like
RPOs.
RPOs, do it. O line, O line, O line, O line. If you have to mentally just call out your assignments, just mentally like do what you gotta do. Stick to your assignments. Stick to
It's
your assignments.
like you're in Pop Warner all over again. I got him. I got him. That's what it's going to be like. That's what it's going to look like. Yes. Offensive line, Mikey's as well. Offensive line, we have to, like I said, we have to run the ball 40 times. In my book,
Mm-hmm.
run the ball 40 times.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say it anyway. Like you said, whether it's sweeping, whether it's trapping. You know how many, I looked at the trap plays that we ran. You know
Mm-hmm.
how many yards Christian McCaffrey got off of just running trap plays?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just a quick hitter. And he was 5, 6 yards out of the field before he got touched. Run the trap plays,
Mm.
run the RPOs, run the sweeps. The keys to us winning this game, and I'm going to go out on a limb.
Mm-hmm.
Panthers will win this game. We're going to go
Okay.
to Buffalo and win. Call me crazy. We're going to win
I
if we
mean,
run the ball.
crazy things have happened this season. We beat Arizona, lost to what? The Giants. Had no business losing to the Giants.
Had no business losing to the Giants. Had no business losing to the Eagles. Cowboys just drug us, so I see that happening. We had no business losing to the Washington football team.
Right.
No business to them. No business losing to the Falcons this last time.
Yep. So.
Crazy things is Washington has 18 players on the COVID list. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it amazes me. It really amazes me. And Jeff Nixon, I want you to go into this game with at least some level of assumption. Okay, let's just say DJ Moore's not going to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for you to utilize these other receivers, Shi Smith, Terrace Marshall Jr. It's time to let them loose. Let
Unleash them.
them loose. Yes, you got Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you got Zylstra. He can catch a ball or two. Marshall Jr., Shy, Tremble, Ian Thomas. Let them loose. If you got to design specific plays for them, you call them, you get them active. Let them loose. We need to be able to see our draft picks pay off. And Terrace Marshall and Shi Smith have not been put in position to.
I haven't even seen him. Like we haven't seen him. So, so at this point, it looks like a wasted draft pick. That's what it
Yeah.
looks like. If you're not going to use them, it looks like we wasted draft picks on players you're not using.
Because last I checked, they're not on any IR or anything like that.
You're just
So it's
not playing
like
them.
what the heck? Like
I know Terrace was hurt. Terrace was hurt for a little bit, but nothing major. But Shy Smith, again, like you said, I have not seen him on IR. You're just not playing him. He's healthy scratches.
yeah, and he's been activated since like what week like 5?
Put
Like
me in, coach. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. That's what I feel like when Sean Smith gets in the game. That's the song I should play. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
seriously. And then
Uh,
did you have anything else specific for the offense for keys that you want to elaborate on or add in?
protect the quarterback. Protect
Yeah.
the quarterback. Give Cam. I'm not. I'm not even going to put PJ. PJ. All I'm going to say is 2 for 8. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm
Mm,
done with that one.
fair fair enough.
I'm done. 2 for 8. I'm done. Give
uh,
Cam Newton the time to throw the ball.
right.
Like you, to your point, if you have to add an extra fullback, if you have to add an extra tight end to the backfield, let him do what he does. Jeff Mixon, I hope you watch film on our All Pro MVP quarterback
Mhm.
and what he did well during that. Matter of fact, all y'all need to do, look what Cam Newton did during his MVP season. Is he that same player? No, but can he be something close to that? If you put him in a similar position, absolutely. Because now he has better weapons than what he had back then.
Mhm.
Give that man his protection and put him in the offense to be successful. Shy Smith, excuse me, Robbie Anderson.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it to you right here, Jay. I'm gonna give it to y'all that's watching.
Uh huh.
Ted Ginn, Robbie Anderson can be Ted Ginn.
Okay.
Shy Smith, and I'm gonna drop a name on you. can be Philly Brown.
Ooh, our other deep threat. Okay, let's go. Let's
Sky
go.
Smith can be Philly Brown. We didn't have a player of Terrace Marshall can be Devin Funches.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's got the height for it. Yeah, makes sense.
So these guys were not national overhyped names during that season.
Mhm.
But you know what our coordinator did? He put each of them in position to be successful. Our offensive line was not the greatest that time.
Right.
They weren't. But you know what he did? He said, okay, I know we have Mike Rimmers on the right. I
Mhm.
know he's not the greatest right tackle, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to slide protection to you
Mhm.
to help you out on that side. Watch what the previous regime did to be successful when they had Cam Newton. Copy that. That's the keys to us being successful on Sunday. Watch what they did,
Mhm.
mimic not all of it, but some of it, and watch how successful this offense can be. Robbie Anderson, Ted Ginn, Shi Smith, Philly Brown, Terrace Marshall, Devin Funches.
Yeah. And I'll throw in one more thing I would love to see, even if they, add this back in like by the end of the season or whatnot. But something I remember that they even did a little clips of.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna have Cam Newton, bring back his cadence.
Oh, I love the white lady. Love that. Love that.
There have been so many moments where his cadence have drawn offsides or encroachment penalties.
Free 5 yards. Free 5 yards.
Like you get him over there, you get him lined up, you no sort of cadence. It's like, I mean, yeah, I understand, there's a few times he's been able to audible, but like his cadence calling.
It's on point. It's on, it's on point. I like that point though. I like that. Bring that back. Because who's he had? Washington, where he played Washington, where they had like 7 offsides.
Hmm.
Just because, like to your point, to his cadence alone. They just kept jumping. If you can get free 5 yards, why not take it? Because that what that does, that turns that 3rd and 8 to a 3rd and 3.
Oh yeah, opens up more options. Not only that, but I like with the play clock awareness. That's one thing Cam Newton always had, because there were
Always.
certain plays where he may not have been able to do that, do the quick clap.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that sometimes there would be a delay in the snap, and other times it's quick, but it was always a way of letting the center and line know through whether it was one way or two-way communication, because sometimes tap on the back, snap the ball, but little things like that go so far.
Absolutely.
So I would love if we're gonna rock with Cam, even these final 4 games and potentially
Mm-hmm.
another season, bring back the cadence.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Absolutely. I 1,000% agree with that point. 1,000% agree with that point. That can be Cam.
Yeah, let Cam be Cam. Um, we're getting a little bit, just a little bit better in red zone offense. I will give us that.
Oh, yeah.
We're definitely getting a little better on red zone offense. We got to really keep that going.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully we've been able to get into the end zone whenever we
Yeah.
hit the red zone. So I'm thankful for that. Um,
Oh, yeah.
defense. Pressure, 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 pressure,
This
pressure.
pressure bust pipes or Chris Diamonds. One of the two. I'm going to go opposite of that one. I'm going to now opposite. Stop the run.
Okay. Okay. Good. Very,
Stop
very good point.
the run. Play gap control football.
Mm.
Don't do too much. Play Jab control football. Be in position, be in your position to make sure that they don't have a cutback lane or Brian Burns. Brian Burns.
Yeah.
I love you. You're my guy. Stop shooting up the field every daggone play, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Stop doing that because you're leaving everybody else, you're hanging everybody else out to dry. Every play is not a pass play, bro. It's not a pass play every time. You shooting up the field as if they're going to throw the ball all 3 times, and they're not, and you're leaving everybody else hanging out to dry. Brian Burns, I'm putting in the emphasis on you this week to show up and stop overshooting the ball.
Mm-hmm.
We know you're an all-pro defensive end. We know it. I need you to show up on Sunday like you are. Brian Burns, stop the run.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. We gotta clog up those holes, stop the run. I'm going to put a little extra spotlight. All right, CJ Henderson, this is your chance.
Why did we
Without,
trade for you?
I mean, I know, still young, been a lot of hype behind you, a lot of eyes on you. CJ Henderson, I know you've been through a lot, but you're on the field. You're playing.
Indeed.
You got a tough task on Cole Measley Beasley. You know, potentially Cole Measley Beasley, but
Right.
with the idea of no AJ Bouye, you gotta be that second man next to
You got to.
Stephon Gilmore. You've got to be.
Mm-hmm.
So show that you are that first round draft pick for a reason.
Shaq Thompson, I need you to put on the Superman cape. I need you to be what Luke was to Cam for all those years. I need you to be that guy on the other side of the football. Shaq Thompson, I'm throwing the gauntlet down for you to step up as the leader of this defense
Mm-hmm.
and hold everybody accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure everybody's in position to do their job. And it wouldn't have had that special for the Patriots where Bill Belichick said, do your job.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do Hassan's job. Don't do Jeremy Chin's job. Don't do Hassan's job.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody do your job. So Shaq Thompson, I'm throwing the gauntlet down to you, brother. Hold everybody on that defense accountable to do their job on Sunday, and we will win.
Come out on fire, ready to shut someone down exactly like how they did in the Arizona game, 100% every play. And
Flying.
and like you said, Shaq, it really is time for him to evolve more as a
Yes.
leader.
Yes.
Like we know what his presence on the field does versus his presence off the field, like not on there.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we have to continue to build on that, and he has to embrace that role and shine in that role, and
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna translate. Like I said, I know we got Stephon Gilmore. He's gonna do his job as the veteran. He's gonna do his job,
Always does. Always does.
but getting off the field is going to be so big to help this team win.
Mm-hmm.
We get the offense on the team, or excuse me, on the field as much and as long as possible. We win that time of possession battle.
Yeah.
I believe this translates to a win.
Without
Like,
doubt.
I think we get a good 7, 8 to like 10 or more minutes. I
Mm-hmm.
think we get this win. Plus, taking care of the ball, we
I
could
can see
get
it.
this win, and it could not be close.
Uh-oh. Are we giving a prediction here, Jay? Are we giving a prediction here?
I believe Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I might as well translate this into score prediction.
Uh-huh.
If we can turn these keys to victory and we see them in action,
Mm-hmm.
I would say we could do as well as a 21-10.
I can see it.
Maybe a 21-13 if we want to do the whole bend don't break on defense and they get a few field goals. But that could very well happen.
I'll one up you. I'll one up you. 28-17.
Okay.
Panthers win 28-17. Why? Because we control the running game. Our defense got off the field on third down. Cam Newton's got another week under his belt. Jeff Mixon has Jeff. You went to the film room
Mm-hmm.
and you saw what Cam Newton did well, and then you're going to bring that to the game on Sunday. Our offensive line and our offensive line is going to show up on Sunday. I'm
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I know. Our offensive line is going to show up on Sunday. Oh, and we're going to rush for almost 200 yards.
I love it. I
I'm
love it.
I'm 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 going out on a limb there. We're going to rush for almost 200 yards.
I definitely believe that this could be, and the thing is with this matchup, with both coaches very familiar, or at least both teams very familiar. Not so much coaches now because we don't have Riverboat Ron, but
The players know each other. Mm-hmm.
yes, players definitely know each other. So, but it's going to be a very, very cold game. As a matter of fact, let me see what they
So
have
what's
on
the
the.
temperature on the
They are looking at a. Let's see, where's it at? Um, they're looking at potentially 31 degrees.
Mm.
And well, that's Buffalo for you. It's cold over at Orchard Park.
Hey, I play the game. I kid you not. I kid you not. And if anybody wants to look it up, I know it. Look, it's not as fancy as this. I played a semi-pro game
Hmm.
out in West Virginia.
Okay.
Kid you not. It was raining, sleeting, and snowing all at the same time
Ooh.
in the West Virginia mountains. Now, if you ain't never been to West Virginia, let me tell you something. It gets butt cold at nighttime in West Virginia. I'm talking about you shivering and shaking
Hmm.
at nighttime. So in those elements, if you're not playing or you're not properly bundled up, it gets really, really cold, extremely cold. You can look that up. It was the Beckley Panthers versus the West Virginia Storm. And if you look at the elements outside, we playing on a turf field,
Hmm.
cold, extremely cold. Now you're going against professional. Going to flip it up professionally.
Hmm.
30-degree weather in Buffalo's your point. It's going to be extremely cold.
Yep.
So what you will need to do, like I said, that prediction, run the football,
Yep.
run the ball. So that way you're gonna that body. I said, if anybody plays, I said, you ever play football? You ever play football on the cold? When you get hit in the cold,
Hmm.
that hit stings a little bit more
Hmm.
because your body's trying to brace because you're trying to brace the elements, and that 300-pound lineman trying to hit you at the same time. So those hits hurt a lot more in the cold than they do when you're warm. So it's like to your point, if we win the trenches,
Hmm.
we win this game. If we rush for almost 200 yards, if we go over 200 yards, Carolina wins this game easily. But
Yeah,
we have to stick to what we do best, which is run the ball.
run the ball, and it'll gradually open up the play action, and we can get something going there.
I see it
You,
happening.
but one thing I definitely have to say is Coach Rule. If there is a turnover in the form of an interception, don't
Jesus.
be so quick to bench Cam immediately. It unfortunately sometimes happened. Some of the greatest quarterbacks have won games off, a one beginning mistake or, a middle of the game mistake, but yet get back on there, bounce back from it. You got to give folks an opportunity to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't be so quick to be like, oh, PJ, go in, PJ.
2-8.
2-8.
So
All
what's
the
PJ doing?
all the super high and mighty PJ fans, 2-8.
2-8.
So,
I look. I second that one. I second that one. I said the points we made earlier. Matt Rule. Cam Newton is a former MVP for a reason. He's an MVP for a reason. He was a rookie of the year for a reason. You're going
indeed.
to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes in the game. That's a part of being a professional.
Right.
You can throw picks, but you as a coach cannot have your press conference where you say, well, we can't win while our quarterback's turning the ball over twice. You also have to say, Matt Rule, I can't be a coach that doesn't put my quarterback in a position to be successful because I failed to give him an offensive line that can hold up their damn blocks.
Mm-hmm.
That I have play calling that doesn't equate to any first downs, that doesn't make any sense in the situation that we're in. That I'm calling a screen pass on 3rd and 13 and 3rd and 20 instead of trying to push the ball down the field. That I'm at 1st and 15 and I'm running a screen pass to the right to my receiver that makes no sense in that situation.
Facts.
Matt Rule, Matt Rule, hold yourself accountable for what you're doing. Because again, Matt Rule, it just happened in Jacksonville, and they only gave him 1 year. Now, granted, his situation was different.
Mm-hmm.
As a college coach, that was at the top of his game. Now, Urban Meyer, his college resume is way better than yours.
Yeah, facts.
You have not, Matt Rule, you have not won a national championship anywhere. He won it in 2 places. So, Matt Rule, hold yourself accountable and let your MVP quarterback be an MVP quarterback. I'm just saying.
Ah, no, this totally understandable. I mean, the writing is on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and the funny thing about it is, to all those watching and just in general, yes, I understand the season looks very bleak, but mathematically still not out of it. The victory over Arizona was a big surprise. I mean, when you think about it, the 15-1 season was a big surprise.
We
So,
weren't supposed to go 15-1. We weren't. Let's be serious. We weren't supposed to do that.
not to mention we went what 7-8-1 and made the playoffs and won a playoff game. I mean, crazier
Weren't supposed to
things
do that either.
crazier things have happened. I know it seems slim, but
Mm-hmm.
we mainly, if anything, this team has to have that mentality
We
of
can do it.
we can do it. Like, we have the opportunity to show up and just dog smack Sean McDermott and his team
Right in the mouth.
to the point where they don't know what hit them. Yes, does this matchup favor Buffalo? Sure.
Absolutely.
Do a lot of the rankings, especially offense, favor Buffalo? Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything favors Buffalo. But to that point, Nobody saw Washington running off 4 games in a row. Nobody saw Miami on their winning streak. So why can't we in Carolina do the same thing? Because nobody sees us doing anything. Why can't we go into Buffalo and shock them? We damn sure can beat the New Orleans. Why can't we beat Tampa Bay twice? Nobody's expecting us to.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe at that point, we pick Tampa the second time. They're resting players because they know they've already made the playoffs, so it makes no sense to play any of their real starters. So
Right.
why can't we win 4 games in a row and get into the playoffs by winning just 9 games? They keep saying on the radio that somebody in NFC is going to get into the playoffs by winning just 9 games. So why can't it be us?
It.
Carolina Panthers, why not us? That should be the mantra for the rest of the season. Why not us?
Why not us? We got to get busy.
Now,
I mean, maybe the loss to Atlanta. I mean, coming out of the bye, maybe that's really the only one that we could afford. Maybe statistically, but
yeah.
okay, we got it out of the way. Y'all want any chance of, saving jobs?
Hmm. You got to treat these last games as they were playoff games.
Exactly.
Treat them like
Exactly.
playoff. So you got it's a 1 game play. It's like treat it like a playoff game. Treat it like a 1 game tryout
Yeah.
because you're trying out. A lot of these players, like we said, are trying out for jobs next year. So this is your 1 game tryout. What do you want to do? Because you could be auditioning for the next head coach.
Yeah. So, let's take a dive back into some of these comments in these last couple of minutes. Of course, our Priester makes a good point. Cam still hasn't lost to Brady. This is true.
Facts.
Um, Mamba said we really should have kept Teddy Bridgewater to be a bridge for us for the 2023 draft and drafted Slater this year.
I can see that.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
can see that.
Slater was available.
And
He,
Teddy's not playing bad this year.
oh yeah. Um, Danielle says paying 50 million on quarterbacks before Cam to not play.
Stupid.
Should have saved money on Darnold's contract and let Teddy groom a quarterback, which is what we paid for.
Yep.
Well, we paid
100%
what
agree.
we paid him for. Gotcha.
100% agree. That was bad management. Clearly bad management.
Yeah, and Slater, shoot, Slater's playing good. Rashawn Slater?
Awesome. They're playing awesome. Now,
Like,
granted, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Who did we get in that draft? Was that Derek Brown? No, that was
uh,
this year.
we
That was
got
this year.
J.C. Horn.
JC Horn. We got JC. Okay, JC. Again, I'm not even mad at the JC Horn pick. I'm not because
Same.
if you look at it, we actually needed JC because Dante is looking like so he's had an inconsistent season.
Yeah.
Let me put it this. He's had a very inconsistent season, and Dante is always had inconsistent seasons. He'll show flashes,
Hmm.
and then he'll look bad for a hot stretch. He'll come back with another flash, and then he'll look bad again. J.C. Horn was needed to be that alpha dog in the room.
Yeah.
J.C. Horn is an alpha. Let's not kid ourselves. He's an alpha. Now, to the Slater point, who says Brady Christensen can't be our Rashawn Slater? But we don't know because we're not playing him.
Right.
Brady Christensen can actually absolutely be that guy if we put him at left tackle more consistently and let him play.
Exactly. Like, which was where he played in college at BYU.
So let him play it. We can have that Deontay Brown, and I'm gonna give this one more prediction as well.
Hmm.
Deontay Brown can be our Andrew Norwell because nobody saw
Mm.
Andrew Norwell coming. Nobody saw him coming.
That's true. He was undrafted as well and has been a very
All
consistent
pro,
all
all
pro.
pro guard. why can't Deontay Brown be an all-pro guard? But Matt Rule, you have to get out of your own way and let the young guys play and make mistakes. One of the things, I know this is off top, one of the things I love about James Borrego for the Hornets, and one thing I hate about him, is he leans on his veterans, but he leans on his veterans too much. Sometimes you have to let the young guys play and make mistakes. That way they can get better.
Right.
You can only make so many mistakes in practice, but me making a mistake in practice is not fully going to teach me something unless I learn it in actual game action.
Oh, yeah.
So let them make their mistakes. We're not competing for a Super Bowl this year. Let's not fool ourselves. So let's see what they got for the rest of the year. And then maybe we have building blocks to go into next season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and when you think about it, the same thing happened to Josh Norman, because remember, he lost his starting spot a few times in his first few seasons, but then we stayed with it, and then he blew up.
He blossomed. Nobody saw Brad. We saw Bradbury, but we didn't see Bradbury for what he could. Bradbury came out of nowhere as well.
Yep.
We said, oh, he can be a good corner. Bradbury turned into an all-pro type corner.
And he came from Samford.
He came from a no-name school and was shining. Let the young guys play. And Deontay Brown is coming from one of the best. I hate to say it because I'm an LSU fan. From Alabama, which produces great offensive linemen. They're constantly getting 5-star linemen. There's a reason, Matt Rule, that they chose Alabama and not Baylor.
Yeah.
They can get better coaching. So let Deontay Brown play. Let him be a road grader. Brady Christensen chose BYU, not Baylor. Don't hold it against him.
And not to mention, I gotta point out a player from back in time that I really to this day did not think he got enough credit for. To this day, one of the best fullbacks we've ever had in Brad Hoover, who played out of Western Carolina. Western Carolina.
I love Brad Hoover. Brad Hoover was my guy. Unsung hero.
One of the best lead blockers who also could run the ball, could give us those 3rd and 3, 2, 1, 4th down, 1 yard, give it to him, and had excellent hands.
My guy.
I won't ever forget. There was one play, if I remember correctly, it was 30 yards. He went on a wheel route from Jake Delhomme.
I think I know what you're talking about.
A fullback on a wheel route. And he was wide open. 30-yard catch.
My guy, though. My guy. Mike Tolbert.
Mike Tolbert
was a fullback that you could put in as a lead back, and you know he was going to run somebody over, and he was going to get his yards. And he had hands. Mike Tolbert had hands.
Oh, yeah. Cam threw darts to him that he would catch.
So that's what I'm saying. We know, we as fans know the success that Cam has had when he's not had the best of weapons. So now we're saying, when we said before we signed him, and I know I was one of those people, if you put Cam with this offense, what danger, what damage he could do. But you have to put him in the proper position, like with any quarterback. Put them in a proper position to be successful, and they will be. Again, we found out, the New York Jets found this out with Sam Darnold the first time. They're finding it out with Zach Wilson now. A quarterback does not fix the problem that you have on the offensive line.
Right. Facts.
You can have the greatest quarterback in the world, but if you can't block for me, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, say it again for all the Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers go-getters without getting an offensive line.
If you don't have an offensive line that can block, it doesn't matter, because your quarterback is always going to be looking up at that blue sky or he's gonna be looking down at that grass saying, "What the hell am I doing here?" Hell, go ask David Carr how long his career lasted.
Ooh.
Hell,
Yikes.
go ask Ryan Leaf how long his career lasted.
Mm.
Go ask Jamarcus Russell how long his career lasted.
Man, I had hopes for him too.
I did too, out of LSU. Cannon up and on. Point is, if you don't have an offensive line, your quarterback won't be successful no matter how glamorous you are. So I remember I used to praise my offensive lineman, and I used to tell my sons this as well. I can have the greatest Ferrari I want in my garage,
Mm-hmm.
right? The greatest Ferrari. But if I don't build the proper structure around it, if I don't have the proper engine in it, if I don't have the proper wheels on it, that car can look pretty right inside my garage. It ain't gonna go nowhere
Right.
because I haven't built the proper foundation to make that car go and do what it's supposed to do. We have all the little pretty cars. It looks real good, but we don't have the road graders to pave the way for them
Mm-hmm.
because we put band-aids on it. Fix the offensive line, Scott Fitterer, Matt Rule, fix the line.
Agreed. Super Trebo pointed out a very big historic fact. I still remember the 2006 playoffs game at Chicago when Brad Hoover shoved Brian Urlacher up the field as the Panthers ran all over the Bears for over 400 yards of total offense against the Bears' number one D in '06. I remember that game.
And you remember Deshaun Watson? When that Deshaun Watson was going crazy that game when he was just dragging people into the end zone.
Oh, Deshaun Foster, you meant?
Deshaun
Yeah,
Watson, Deshaun Foster, yes.
yeah, I
I remember.
remember.
I
But
don't know why I can't.
but
Brad Hoover, yes.
but yeah, like Brad
Those were the
Hoover,
heydays. Those were the heydays.
because I won't ever forget, because remember, that was the season Chicago beat us in the regular season, and
We
we
did.
got mad revenge on them in the playoffs
We did.
because they smacked us up in that regular season. Oh,
It
but
was bad. It was bad.
because I won't ever forget Steve Smith's interview at the end, because I believe he had two touchdowns in that
He
game,
did.
and
He
was
did.
like, and was like,
Over Peanut.
and he was like, yeah, not like last time.
Ice up, son. He still has a classic interview. Ice up, son. Ice up. That interview right there is still classic. We need players like Smitty back in the locker room. Ice up, son.
And that's the thing that stood out so much. He didn't let his height get to him. Big
Nope.
chip on his shoulder, but you wouldn't have
All the
noticed.
time. If you see this face, that means I just scored.
That
Smitty.
that little man had a powerful stiff arm too. Shoot.
Smitty played like he was a 280-pound power forward. That's how Steve Smith played the game. And that's why I tell anybody. That's why I keep saying, I tell my sons, you don't have to be the biggest, you don't have to be the fastest, the strongest, the shiftiest. If you just play it with aggression,
Mhm.
people are gonna respect you because they were like, look, he's gonna bring his A game. So I gotta bring my A+ game. Just play with some heart and some aggression, Carolina on Sunday. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And we're gonna be even win, lose, or whatever. If y'all just play like y'all did in the Arizona game, flying around having fun, I won't even be mad at all. I'll be a little bit mad, but I want to be that mad at all.
I mean, the dude scored a touchdown while getting hit so hard enough it broke his forearm, and he never dropped the ball.
That's toughness. That's hard.
Like
That's
I
determined.
I
That's
remember
what
how
it is.
hard and how
Oh, you
loud
heard it.
that snap was,
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it.
yet still scored and never dropped that ball.
Because that speaks to who Steve Smith always has been. Steve personified keep pounding as well. He just did. Keep pounding. I'm gonna keep going. I'm hurt, arm broke, whatever. I'm still gonna score
Oh
because
yeah.
I know my team needs me to score. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I love Steve Smith will always be one of my top two favorite Panthers of all time. Not even in question.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh yeah, he's definitely my all-time favorite player with Julius Peppers being a really strong second.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm still mad at him for leaving though. But Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I tell you, man, what a magical rookie hit his rookie season, especially on a team where we were really bad. He was like the shining star, like crazy. I was just like, yeah, we better lock him up.
Yeah, you can't stop Pep in his shoot. You couldn't stop Pep in his prime. He was unblockable. As big as he was, as quick as he was, as strong he was. If Cam Newton comes up and you say, "Dang, that's a big dude," then you know you're a big dude because Cam ain't small.
Right. Indeed. Indeed. And it just hurt so much when Steve Smith left and Baltimore faced us and Steve Smith made us
It was
regret that decision.
it was bad.
Yeah. Like I remember watching that game, I was like, yeah, I get it, Steve. I totally understand. I totally understand. I can't even be mad at you. I can't
I
be
put my
mad at
head
you.
down. I had to put my head down and just shake it. It was like, yeah, we deserve it. I found myself cheering for Steve Smith. I'm not gonna lie. I found myself cheering for Steve Smith. Like, go off. But now we get mad. I'm like, damn, we're losing. But Smitty, go off because we deserve it.
Yeah,
Excuse me, the ownership deserves it. The ownership damn well deserves it.
indeed, indeed. Any final words?
We will win this game. I'm gonna leave it at that. Carolina will win this game 28-17. Run the football. Stop the run. Play together. Play fast, physical, and fun.
I-
That's it.
I'll say run the ball. Names out there we haven't heard in a while. When you gonna show up? Make some plays. How about this
Yeah,
game?
we're
How
sending a search party out for you.
how about this game? All those out there have yet to hear much of your name called. How about this game?
Why not us?
Why not us? I want to thank you so much for joining us once again for this preview video of the Panthers Bills matchup coming up this Sunday in Cold Orchard Park over
Mm.
there in Buffalo, New York.
Mm.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, but should be a win. Mr. Carolina, remind the people watching where can we find you on the social media?
You can find your boy at the Bleeding Carolina Blue podcast right here on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Carolina 2. You can find me on TikTok at Mr. Carolina. You can find me on the Anchor app. If you have the Anchor app, I do have a podcast on there called Men of Honor, which I will be inviting my brother Jason to join me on for one of those shows where we just talk about life. We talk about being a man of honor. You talk about, social events. We just talking about being a great person. So the Men of Honor podcast on Anchor app. So y'all heard me say it here. Jason is invited on the Men of Honor podcast to talk about real life events because life is more than just sports. I know we do sports on here, but on that podcast we talk about life, real life things going on in our personal lives. So that's where you guys can find me at.
Well, it sounds like I have an Anchor app to download and get immersed in this podcast dealing with life because it's something that we are all currently living through the good and through the bad.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the usual Blitzball Champ on YouTube, Blitzball Champ on Twitch, Blitzball Champ on Twitter, capital B, capital C.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what, keep pounding. We're going to get through this. And Lord willing, we will see y'all for the next Carolina Panthers Talk video post game for the Panthers Bills game, which should be a win. It better be a win. We need it to be a win so we can think and talk happiness and happy thoughts.
Hopefully.
But for Carolina Panthers Talk here on the Blitzball Champ Gaming podcast, I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, and that is
Your boy, MrCarolina.
want to wish y'all a blessed, safe weekend, and we will see y'all soon. Good night.